Good evening, welcome. So, if you're joining live, comment and say hello and let me know that you can hear me while I make sure everything is working correctly. Um, Let me get I've been having issues with my um, computer mic, so I'm going to try this. Of course, something has to go wrong right in the middle while I'm doing it. So let me see if this will work. Okay, so I got that hooked up. So just let me know in the comments if you're watching, if you can hear me, just let me know. And I'll give a few more minutes for people to come in and join. Um, I'm just making sure that it's broadcasting. Okay, so welcome. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, but I think I got them fixed. So comment hello where you're from if you're watching, and welcome to this week's training. So if you're new to joining me on these trainings, my name is Lawanda Ingle, and I'm a WordPress web developer, and I help female business owners to create websites, to build websites that fit their style and will elevate their online presence. And so tonight, I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to advertise your website like a professional. So there's many different ways that you can, you know, there's always different advice giving about how to advertise your website. So I'm going to share 5 of the ways that can help you, especially when you're just starting out, and that could be easily that you can start with. So the first one is blogging. So I know you're familiar with blogging, but so if you're not a writer, so if just even your trainings, if you do trainings, if you've created PDFs, a simple PDF like a freebie, you can turn that into a blog on your website. And so you can have that on your website and you can share that. And so that'll even drive even more traffic to your website if you have a blog. And so you can share that on Pinterest. You can share it in, when you share your freebie. And so it'll draw them when you're sharing it, because it's connected to your website, it'll draw them to your website. So that's one way that you can bring traffic into you. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. Um, yeah, say hi when you come in if you're watching, and let me know if you're watching and where you're from. Um, Number 2, show up in search engines. So this is a good one. So the best way to bring people to your doorstep is um, to become familiar with search engines. So number 1 is optimizing your content with Google. Google is a big search engine, and so that if you've optimized your website, and so there's ways to do that. You can connect it to your website when you've created it, and so you can connect it. And so when you're sharing that content, those blogs, it's going to come out there. So you're making sure that you're using good keywords that are going to draw people in, especially with your titles, with the content that you share, using those keywords. that are going to show up in the search engines. So that's another one to optimizing your website. Number 3, free offers. And that goes back into the freebie to like your blog that you've created. Um, so if you have those, sharing your free offers that you've made, either you've made a video training or a PDF, a free PDF, say you made a template or something, or just a calendar or workbook, and you want to offer it as a freebie. So putting those and sharing those, that can draw people to your website also, because you can connect it to your website, and that can where be that freebie is housed. And if you're a blog post, you can turn a video into a blog post. And so there you have some free content to offer to others. So number 4, social media marketing. And so so in groups, when you're in groups, you have, you're sharing your services, you're sharing your content. And so that's another way. And having a Facebook business page for your business, if you're starting out, that's, and you don't have a website yet, you're not there yet, a great way to start is to have a Facebook business page. And so it's, you're drawing in those people that you want, and you're sharing the information that you want to share business page. And so that's another way to put your what you have to share out there. And so once you get a website, you can connect that to that business page also. And so that's, one way to to marketing your website, having advertising your website on there. And the last one is video marketing. So you can like these weekly trainings, I do these every week, and so I'm sharing it on my business page and also in the group. And so that's one way to marketing of what I have to share. And then you can advertise that way, and you could create a series, create an online series. You can even, if you're into YouTube, you can even post those videos on YouTube and create a series. And so that'll draw in a lot of people that way. And so those are just 5 of the ways that you can start now advertising your website. Like I said, if you have any questions, please post your questions, and I will answer them. Let me know if this was helpful, and if you know, you need any help from, if you want me to review your website, I can do that now. I can do that. I do have a service, and it's website audits, where I can go in and review your website and give you feedback of what's going on. And so I'll post the link in the comments. And so let me know if you need a website audit. Check out the link, and I can check your website if you have one already. If you don't have one and you have more questions, please feel free to DM me, post your questions in the comment, and I'll see you next week.